Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video is a little different. I'm sure you guys can tell. We are in the simulator to show you guys how to do the hover. The hover is very fun, at the same time difficult 3D maneuver to do. It is a very impressive, maneuver. It'll impress your friends, and it'll really show people what an aircraft can do. Now, 3D basically means, it kind of means only RC planes can do these maneuvers. That's basically the definition of 3D. There are different definitions, but that's just how I think of it. Anyway, so before we get on to the tutorial, here are some disclaimers. You will be occupying all control surfaces and power systems of the aircraft. You will be using your rudder, elevator, ailerons, and you will be needing lots of power to actually keep your plane into that hover. If you don't use one control surface, it'll mess up your entire hover. Like I've said, it is a difficult maneuver, but it is also at the same time a high concentration maneuver. I'm sure you've seen people like Martin Pickering or something, or someone doing a hover and actually touching their plane. Those people have been doing it for years, and those people are so good that I'm sure you can just watch them like walk up to their plane and touch their plane. But this requires a high amount of concentration. Now in this video I will show you, the segments are going to be a demonstration of the hover, the tutorial of the hover, and then you guys do it with me. So without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. Alright, so before we actually start flying, make sure all your control surfaces actually work. They can go full directions and everything. And for those of you who are wondering, I'm using the eFly Timber X, and yes, I'm using full span aileron for this one. It is highly recommended, but you can fly in real life without full span aileron. I've done it before. Yeah, so after we check all that, let's go ahead and take off. Now there are three different ways to get your aircraft into a hover. The first way I'm going to show you is the Harrier way. This is probably the best approach for people who are learning how to do a hover. So here is a quick demonstration of that. Alright, so we're going to get the plane into a hover. Alright. There we go. Now if you look, I'm using all of my control surfaces. Aileron, power systems, everything. Alright. I'm sure you guys noticed, I'm using a lot of right aileron when I'm doing the hover. That is because the torque of the motor is pulling us left. To counter that, we need to use lots of right aileron. It's just it's just nature just pulling the aircraft to the left. That's just what the motor torque does. So I'm going to show you guys the Harrier. The Harrier. One more time. We're going to get into that Harrier, pull up, and we're in that hover. Alright. Okay, now for the actual tutorial. Okay, so the three methods to get into a hover is very, like, it's basically what you're comfortable with. My personal favorite is pulling up into a hover like this. I'll show you guys that later on. Some of you guys may do the Harrier, or the stall takeoff Harrier, if you guys know what I mean. Sorry, the stall takeoff hover. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys how to do the Harrier hover. So first, I'm going to get that plane into a Harrier just like this. Oops. So we can get that plane into the Harrier, and then pull up a little bit so the nose is facing up towards the sky, like this. Make sure you use that right aileron to counter the torque of the motor. Use all your control surfaces. Don't look at your transmitter, always look at the plane. Okay, now to get out of the hover, just do full throttle, or another way to get out of it is to just put the nose down like that. I like to get out of it in a very fancy style, just do a stall turn. That's what I like to do. Alright, here's another demonstration of the Harrier. Okay, we're gonna get into that. Oops, sorry. We're gonna get into that Harrier. And then pull up. Counter the torque with that right aileron. Just like that, use all your control surfaces. Your throttle should be above half. And we're gonna get out of the hover. Alright, so the second method to get into a hover is my personal preference. I like this way because it gets you into the hover very fast, and to me it's actually quite simple. Alright, so let me do a quick demonstration. So we're just gonna get some speed here, lighten up on the throttle, and then just pull up like that. Let's pull up. Let me show you guys that one more time. Actually, I'm gonna have it face this way. Okay, and then pull up. That's my favorite way. But when you pull up, make sure you have power. When you do this, make sure you input a lot of throttle, otherwise your plane will get into a tip stall. Let me show you guys one more time. Watch my throttle stick. See how the power jerks up like that? Make sure you do that, otherwise your plane is going to get into a tip stall. Alright, let me show you guys how to actually do it. So first, make sure you guys practice your hover as high, like this. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to come around here. I'm going to do it low, so you guys can see. Loosen up on the power, and then pull up. Make sure you jerk that power. Sometimes, when you get into a hover, stuff may happen like what just happened. When you get into a hover, the plane may want to spin left because of the power of the torque. Let me show you guys that one more time. Demonstration how to get to it. Alright. And then we're going to loosen up on the power and then jerk up. Jerk the power up. Counter the torque. Oops. Oops. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't counter torque, guys. You always need to counter your torque, unless you're doing a torque roll. Just like this, and move it closer. Yeah. So, as you saw there, that run wasn't very good because of the torque. Now, every aircraft is different. You may be applying full right aileron, like this. You may be applying full right aileron, and then the plane could still be spinning left. It's just the nature of your plane. Every plane is different. Some planes can't even do a proper hover. The Timber X is actually a pretty good hover. Oh, aircraft, excuse me. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys method 3 of how to get into a hover. This one is a pretty advanced method to get into a hover. Oh, excuse me guys. So, it's called I call it a stall hover. So basically, it's like this. Let me show you guys. Right when you get off the ground, you just get into the hover. Just snap, boom, like that. Let me show you guys one more time. It's very snappy. Everything happens very fast. Alright, let me show you guys one more time. Just like that. Alright, let me show you guys actually how to do it. So, before you actually take off, or before you take off, you need to have your elevator all the way down, like that. Look at my controls. Your elevator needs to be all the way down, so that once your plane actually gets enough speed to take off, it just pops the nose right up into the air. And when you guys take off, make sure you apply a lot of throttle once your plane gets off the ground, because your plane will stall and crash if you don't have enough throttle. Alright, so now we're going to take off. Full elevator, full throttle, pull into that hover. I recommend just staying in full throttle until your plane actually gets into that hover. It'll make things a lot easier. Just like that. show you guys one more time. Make sure you also watch this very carefully. Watch your plane very carefully when you're doing hover. Alright, full up elevator, max throttle, and it's just gonna pull you right into that Harrier. That hover, sorry. Just like that. Alright. Now that we've actually learned the 3 methods of getting into a hover, now you guys can try it with me. Alright, so we learned how to do the Harrier, the 3 methods. We're going to go through those 3 methods, and if one method, 1 or 2 methods, or all of them aren't your strongest points, make at least 1 or 2 of those your strong points. Okay, so first we're going to do the Harrier. Alright guys, the plane in real flights, the battery actually runs out in real flight for some reason. I'm sure if you guys look like over here, it'll say like battery, and it was getting kind of low. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so let's try that again. The Harrier method. Okay, so first I'm going to the Harrier here. Harrier, and get into the Harrier and pull the nose up, just like that. And we're going to use counter the torque. Use all your control surfaces. We're going to get out of the hover. Alright, the second method is my preference, just pulling into it. Full up elevator when you're in there. Okay. Just gonna go 3, 2, 1 down, okay? Loosen up on that throttle, 3, 2, 1 down. Make sure you use that throttle to get your plane into that hover. Just like that. As you can see, I'm applying full right aileron to counter the torque. Just like that. Alright, now we're gonna show you guys the stall method. I have not tried this method in real life. You guys can try it, but I wouldn't really recommend it for your first time. Alright, without further ado, here we go. Just gonna go 3, 2, 1 down, alright? 3, 2, 1, full throttle, full up elevator. It's just gonna pull your aircraft right into that hover. If you need to rewatch any part of the video, go ahead and rewind. Just for the sake of it, I'll try it one more time. Whoops. Whoa. That was close. Alright, here we go. We're just gonna go 3, 2, 1 down, okay? Full up elevator. 3, 2, 1, full throttle. And now we're up. Just like that. Torque. Alright. Alright guys, this concludes the tutorial of the hover. This will take a long time for you to learn and master. I am not a complete master at it. As you guys probably seen. Practice a lot. Practice in real life, practice in any simulator, real flight, pick a sim, whatever. Practice. Trust me, I've been practicing this maneuver for a long time. I practiced this maneuver 1 week straight, and I saw a major improvement. Practice. You will get better. This maneuver is hard, and it does need your max concentration. Practice. You will get better. Trust me. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns you guys may have, please let me know in the description below. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, see ya.